and good morning. It's Gap at Home again, and here we are in the week after Easter, so I can say Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, Joey. Do you want to say hello to Joey? Joey's here too as well. Can you wave to him? He's waving, look. You wave back. Good morning, Joey. So, we've got a story today, but before we start, we're going to have a game, aren't we? We're going to have a game, and the game's called Guess Who. And so, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you 4 different pictures of people, and you have to see if I can guess which one we're going to pick. Later on, Joey's going to do the picking. So, we've got Joe. You look at Joe. Okay, there he is. You're looking at Joe. And then we've got Mary. You see Mary. And then we've got Claire. See Claire? And we've got Philip. You see Philip? He's got very dark hair. Now, just to make sure that I'm not going to be cheating at all, I'm going to put on a blindfold. And so I'm going to cover my eyes up so that I can't see what it is that Joey is picking up. Okay. So we know we've got 4 people. There they are. Right, Joey's got to help me. Okay. I can't see which way up it is. I hope that's the right way up. Okay, so Joey, you're going to pick one. Okay, let's have this one. So, I'm going to ask the questions and Joey's going to answer. See if you can help him. So Joey, does this person have a hat on? Oh, Joey says yes, this person does have a hat on. And is this person a man? No. Joey says no, it's not a man. Does this person have glasses, Joey? No. So this person is a lady, not a man, and they do have a hat on and they don't have glasses. It must be Mary. Is it Mary? Yay! Joey says yes, it's Mary. Now let's see if we can have another one. This one. So, this person, is it a man? Yes, Joey says it is a man. And is this person got brown hair? Yes, this person does have brown hair. Is he wearing a hat? No, no hat. I think it's Philip. Is it Philip? Yay! So there we are. A Guess Who game. And Guess Who is an important part of our story today. We'll have that just now. Okay, so now we've got our story. Our story for today is about a journey on foot, people walking. You might go out for a walk these days when we're not allowed to go anywhere and see anybody. We have to stay in our houses, but we are allowed out on a walk. Now this is Jerusalem, being built out of Duplo. And this house, playhouse, is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Cleopas, and it's in a little village called Emmaus, about 7 miles outside Jerusalem, actually. So here we go. This is Mr. and Mrs. Cleopas, and they're leaving Jerusalem. And the day is Easter Day, last Sunday. And so they've been in Jerusalem all the while, and they decided they'd had enough of Jerusalem and they wanted to go back to the peace and quiet of their own house. So they set off along the journey, and as they were walking the 7 miles, they were walking and talking. They were talking about all the things that had been happening in Jerusalem. And they were really very excited because it had been so awful. Their very, very, very best friend, Jesus, had died on the cross. And they were talking to each other about how unfair it was and how unexpected. And as they were walking, they suddenly realised that there was somebody else walking along beside them. And that person came to talk to them. And as they were walking along, he said, "Why are you sad?" And Mr. Cleopas said, we're sad because Jesus, that very special person, has just died. Who's that? The stranger said. Where have you been? Haven't you understood what's been going on in Jerusalem just these last 3 days? It's been awful. Our very best friend Jesus, that very special person, the Pharisees, they wanted him dead. They took him to Pilate, and the Romans, they put him on the cross and he died. And that all happened 3 days ago. And the stranger, as they walked, talked to them and told them how in the Bible it said that this was going to happen. It said that one day the Messiah would die and 3 days later he would rise again. And before they knew it, they got to their house. So of course Mr. and Mrs. Cleopas turned to the stranger and said, well, won't you come in and have a meal with us before you go on your way? And the stranger said, yes, all right then. So very pleased, they all went into the house. And Mrs. Cleopas got very much quickly to work in the kitchen getting a meal. The stranger sat down at the table and Mr. Cleopas gave him a drink and sat down and talked to him a bit more too. And Mrs. Cleopas came out and gave them all something to eat. And they were just sitting down to eat it all when the bread was passed around. And as soon as Jesus got it, he put his hands up to heaven with the bread in it and thanked God for it. And he broke it and he gave it to them. And just by doing that, Mr. and Mrs. Cleopas remembered the special meal when Jesus had done that for them. And the penny dropped, and they looked at each other and said, guess who? And they turned round, and the stranger was gone. That must be Jesus! It must be Jesus! What he said was true! He did rise from the dead, and we've seen him! Come on, we can't stay here anymore. We've got to go back and tell the disciples. And they set off, and they ran the 7 miles all the way back to Jerusalem again. They had to share the good news. So that was our story. But now we've got to be active. Up you get. Come on, up you get. Now, you're going to go across the room as we go over some of those things that happened in the story. Mr. and Mrs. Cleopas were walking first. Can you walk across the room? And they were very sad. Let's put your sad faces on. And then Jesus, they didn't know it was Jesus, the stranger joined them. And they were hopping. Can you hop across the room? On one leg, that's it. Hop, hop, hop. They were hopping because the subject matter was changing. They were talking about all sorts of different things. And then they were skipping across the room. Can you skip? You sort of hop up into the air. They were skipping because Jesus was explaining to them, although they didn't know it was Jesus, about what the Bible said, and everything fell into place and they were getting happy. And then they jumped. Can you jump across the room? They jumped for joy because the stranger, who was Jesus, said he was going to come into their house and have a meal with them. And then when they realised it was Jesus, they ran all the way back to Jerusalem to tell their friends. Can you run across the room really fast? So that's lots of things for you to practice doing this week. We were skipping and running and walking and hopping and jumping. So have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye.